Imbued with these ways of purifying the stages, enlightening beings are well established in the stage of extreme joy. Once established in this stage, enlightening beings undertake great vows, great resolutions, great undertakings such as the following. They undertake a first great vow to make offerings to each and every Buddha in the best of forms, with the highest purity of faith, as extensively as the cosmos, to the furthest reaches of space throughout all time. They undertake a second great vow to maintain the eye of the teaching spoken by all Buddhas, to associate with all Buddhas and enlightening beings, to preserve the teachings of all complete Buddhas, to take in all truths, to the extent of the cosmos, to the furthest reaches of space, throughout all time, without ceasing, in all eons, for as many Buddhas as appear in the world. They undertake a third great vow to go to all places in all worlds where Buddhas appear. In the heaven of satisfaction, descending into the human world, entry into the womb, abiding in the womb, birth, youthful enjoyments, married life, renunciation, practice of austerities, conquering demons, enlightenment, being requested to teach, setting the wheel of the great teaching in motion, and entry into the great absolute nirvana. To go to all places at once, taking the lead in making offerings, receiving the teaching and applying it in practice to the extent of the cosmos, to the furthest reaches of space, throughout all time, without ceasing in all eons, for as many Buddhas as appear in the world, and until the attainment of great absolute nirvana. They undertake a fourth vow to bring forth the determination to disseminate instruction in the accomplishment of means of purification of the ways of transcendence, accurate explanation of the path of the stages, the practices of all enlightening beings, bringing forth their total and particular aspects with consideration of their common and distinctive features as they are formed and dissolved, and many extensive immeasurable holistic practices of all Buddhas and enlightening beings contained in the ways of transcendence, purifying all the stages of enlightening beings, vowing to call forth into aspiration to the extent of the cosmos, to the furthest reaches of space, throughout all time. They undertake a fifth great vow to fully develop all beings, corporeal or immaterial, thinking, non-thinking, or neither, born of eggs, wombs, moisture, or spontaneously, in all realms contained in the worlds of desire, forms, and formlessness, bound to the 6 paths of mundane existence in all places of birth, caught up in names and forms, to develop them, to lead them into the Buddha teaching, to free them from all mundane groupings, to establish them in omniscience, to develop and mature all beings forever, to the extent of the cosmos, throughout the reaches of space, for all time, for as many eons and beings as there be. They undertake a 6th great vow for direct knowledge of the innumerable distinctions in all the worlds of the 10 directions, variously reflecting one another, subtle and gross, upside down, inverted and upright, their appearance and consolidation. They vow to comprehend the distinction of worlds to the extent of the cosmos throughout the reaches of space for all time. They undertake a 7th great vow to show all beings the purification of all lands in one land, and one land in all lands, the adornment of innumerable Buddha lands with arrays of light, entering into the supreme realm of Buddhas from which all afflictions are removed, completely purified and filled with wise beings, showing this to all beings to please them in accord with their mentalities, vowing to thoroughly purify all Buddha lands, to the extent of the cosmos, to the farthest reaches of space, throughout all time, unceasing for as many eons and Buddha lands as there may be. They undertake an 8th great vow to work with the same one determination as all enlightening beings, to build up roots of goodness without opposition, to be equally focused on the same one object as all enlightening beings, to be in concert with all enlightening beings, to manifest appearances of Buddhas as desired, to attain the knowledge of the powers of the enlightened at will, to attain ever-present mystical knowledge, to travel to all worlds, to appear in the circles of all Buddhas, to adapt to all situations, to attain realization of the inconceivable great vehicle, to continue to carry out the practices of enlightening beings, vowing to enter the great vehicle to the extent of the cosmos, to the furthest reaches of space, throughout all time, unceasing for as many eons and practices as there may be. They undertake a ninth great vow to carry out the practice of enlightening beings, riding on the wheel that never rolls backward, by means of fruitful words, thoughts, and deeds, so that those who see them will surely realize Buddhahood. Those who hear what they say will attain knowledge, and so that those who have pure faith will be freed from afflictions. They vow to attain a state like a master physician, to attain embodiment of magical fulfillment of aspiration, to carry out the practices of enlightening beings as extensively as the cosmos, to the farthest reaches of space, throughout all time, unceasing for as many eons and as many practices as there be, that their deeds may not be in vain. They undertake a 10th great vow to awaken completely to unexcelled perfect enlightenment in all worlds, to show at every point, without leaving one place, birth, leaving home, transfiguration, austere practice, conquering demons, sitting at the pinnacle of enlightenment, turning the wheel of the teaching, and final absolute nirvana, to attain the knowledge of power of the vast realm of Buddhahood, and in each instance show all sentient beings the emergence of a Buddha in accordance with their mentalities, so that they may attain enlightenment and perfect peace, to universally realize the nirvana of all phenomena by one perfect enlightenment, to please all beings according to their mentalities with a single utterance, to show great ultimate nirvana without cutting off the power of practice, to show the construction of all teachings of the stages of great knowledge, to pervade all worlds by the mystic power of the knowledge of truth and the mystic knowledge of illusoriness, vowing to bring forth great knowledge to the extent of the cosmos, to the furthest reaches of space, throughout all time, never ceasing for all eons, for all true enlightenments. Thus, having brought to the fore such great aspirations, great purposes, great undertakings, through 10 great vows, enlightening beings stationed in the stage of extreme joy undertake countless consummate vows, which they undertake in 10 ultimate terms, that is, to the ultimate extent of living beings, to the ultimate extent of worlds, to the ultimate extent of space, to the ultimate extent of the cosmos, to the ultimate extent of the realm of nirvana, to the ultimate extent of the emergence of Buddhas, to the ultimate extent of enlightened knowledge, to the ultimate extent of realms of mental objects, to the ultimate extent of entries of knowledge into the sphere of Buddhas, to the ultimate extent of the courses of worlds, the courses of teachings, and the courses of knowledge. Enlightening beings vow that their undertakings shall be coterminous with living beings, worlds, space, the cosmos, nirvana, the emergence of Buddhas, enlightened knowledge, mental objects, entries of knowledge into the sphere of Buddhas, the courses of worlds, the courses of teachings, and the courses of knowledge. And that just as all of these are endless, so shall the enlightening beings' roots of goodness be endless. In those who have taken such vows upon themselves, the workable mind and the gentle mind are incorruptibly pure. The enlightening beings have faith in the perfectly enlightened Buddha's attainments of past practices, their realization of the transcendent ways, their consummate attainment of the stages, their consummate attainment of the powers, their complete fulfillment of expertise, the indestructibility of the unique qualities of Buddhahood, the inconceivability of Buddhahood, the attainment of the sphere of Buddhas, which is infinitely various, the attainment of the immeasurable knowledge, the complete entry into the realm of those who arrive at thusness. Enlightening beings believe in the consummation of the fruits. In some, They believe in the practice of enlightening beings, including all that upon which is based the teaching of the stage of knowledge of enlightened ones.